Now, breaking news from Ozarks First.
Now at 6:30, another deadly shooting in Springfield leaves one person dead and another in the hospital. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Bailey Stroll. That shooting happened near National Avenue and Elm Street earlier this afternoon. Tonight, Ozarks First Michael McLaughlin there after speaking with police at the scene. Michael.
Yeah, Bailey. So at around 2 in the afternoon, officers responded to a well-being check right here in this building behind me. Now, once they arrived on the scene, they found one dead and another injured. That person was transported to a local hospital. I'm told by SPD that it is too early in the investigation to make a conclusion about what exactly happened here, but there was no threat to the public when this incident occurred. But I spoke to Hollis Clem, who lived in this very building. He's able to now re-enter his apartment after having to wait an hour or so as the scene was still being blocked off. Clem says one of the people involved in the incident just moved in recently and was allegedly blind. While he hasn't spoken to any of them personally, he tells me he's heard loud noises and screaming from the apartment in the past, which has concerned him.
I figured maybe because the guy was blind that he was having a hard time getting around, but I think there's some other stuff going on there, like, you know, there's some bad stuff going on there. And I think it just probably came out today.
And SPD will release more information on this case as we learn more. You can find that either on air or on our website, ozarksfirst.com. Reporting live in Springfield, I'm Michael McLaughlin, Ozarks First.
Our crews following up tonight on the deadly shooting and breaking news we brought you on Wednesday. A man is facing a murder charge for killing another man in Northeast Springfield. That investigation led officers to a mobile home park not far from the scene, where U.S. Marshals helped police detain a suspect Wednesday evening. Well, we know tonight 19-year-old Christopher Salazar Montes is in the Greene County Jail for shooting and killing Marvin Rodriguez Sanchez, a 26-year-old from Mexico. We're also learning more about Salazar Montez's immigration status, and we'll bring you that information in just a moment. But first, we go out live to Ozarks First Doreen Abaya. She spoke with neighbors today who heard the gunfire.
That's right, Bailey. It is a very unfortunate incident in this neighborhood, particularly or specifically the house behind me is where the shooting happened. And as I'm talking right now, neighbors spoke to me about why or how they experienced this incident.
I was laying there the other night and I heard 3 gunshots, and I wasn't sure, but I called my daughter. She's an Uber driver, and she goes, "Yeah, we hear gunshots around here fairly regular." And then probably 10 minutes or so after I hung up, I heard 3 more gunshots. And anyway, I was worried because my grandkids are in the house.
Gregory Pearl says he woke up to a full police response Wednesday morning. After authorities were called, they found the victim, Marvin Rodriguez Sanchez, lying in the suspect's front yard.
And I didn't wake up till, I don't know, about 6:30 in the morning, and I saw that my daughter had sent me a picture of the police cars out there when she got home because they were blocking the driveway, and she had to get them to move so she could get in.
Court documents show the suspect, Christopher Salazar Montes, allegedly told another person he shot the victim in the chest because he was upset that Rodriguez Sanchez had smoked inside his home.
We heard about it because we saw the police tape and everything at the end of the road.
Another neighbor says they saw the crime scene when they stepped outside the next morning.
I think this neighborhood might have a few issues.
She says this area has dealt with crime before, but the killing this close to home was still unsettling.
It makes us uncomfortable for sure to have that kind of crime happening in our neighborhood.
Salazar Montes is currently being held in the Greene County Jail, and the roster also indicates he is on hold for ICE. Reporting live here in Springfield, Doreen Abaya, Ozarks First.
All right, thanks, Doreen. And we dug a little deeper into the suspect's immigration status. Springfield police say the alleged shooter, Christopher Salazar Montez, is from El Salvador. According to the probable cause statement, he had a warrant out for his arrest due to a traffic stop in 2024. Investigators identified him as someone who was a part of a refugee resettlement program at one time. The documents also state investigators found papers in his bedroom during the investigation, including a notice to appear from the Department of Homeland Security. And that notice stated his immigration status as, quote, an alien present in the United States who has not been admitted or paroled. As we said, he is in the Greene County Jail on murder charges, but also on a hold for ICE. We're continuing to dig into the immigration status of the suspected shooter and how this may impact his case. A check of the forecast now, a live look over Springfield. Well, be sure to have your heavy coat ready to go this weekend. The temperature sure to drop again. Highs below freezing once again for the weekend. We check in tonight with our chief meteorologist, Jamie Warner.
Yeah, and cold advisories have been issued for the area for Saturday morning. That's really kind of what's new today, and it's because we're expecting not only very cold temperatures, but very low wind chills of -5 to -15, really across all of the area. Temperatures, again, cold enough now for any melt that we saw develop this afternoon to refreeze. And roads, well, some of them are still snow covered. Also, this ongoing issue of black ice. We're going to find that not only for tonight and tomorrow morning, but through the weekend, probably into at least Monday morning of next week, if not beyond Monday of next week. Clouds did clear out here over southern Missouri, but they are thickening up here over northwest Arkansas. Some mist may try to break out, or freezing mist and snow flurries in that area later this evening. We're below freezing now. We're not going to go above freezing again in Springfield until sometime, I think, Sunday afternoon. Tonight, watch for those temperatures to slide through the 20s and then the teens. Bailey?
All right, thank you, Jamie. A man in Springfield has died after being hit by a semi. It happened around 1:15 this morning on Interstate 44 near the Highway 65 exit. The victim has been identified now as Wesley Osborne. Investigators say he was walking on the interstate when he was hit. He died at the scene. It marks the second traffic fatality in Springfield this year. Every year, the Point in Time count is conducted nationwide. This is where nonprofit groups conduct community outreach surveys, speaking with individuals that are experiencing homelessness. Community Partnership of the Ozarks is part of that effort in Greene, Christian, and Webster counties. It provides them a better understanding about local homeless trends and community needs.
So what types of housing and homeless services are they going to be providing? What types of populations is that going to serve? Are we seeing an increase in veterans, youth? Are we seeing more sheltered homelessness versus unsheltered homelessness? And so what it does is it sort of provides just a snapshot, one single night of the year, sort of what's going on across the country.
The data collected is then submitted to the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development for their annual homeless assessment report. In return, that report helps Congress make financial decisions aimed at enhancing resources for homeless outreach. A similar approach to looking into homeless numbers is being done in the Joplin area. Several nonprofit groups teamed up to conduct a point-in-time count on Wednesday. A warming shelter was set up at the Joplin First Church of the Nazarene. That's where the church's lead pastor spoke with individuals about their experiences with homelessness. The Salvation Army also traveled through Joplin, visiting areas where homeless people stay.
It's actually one of my favorite days of the year to be able to go out and do this. You know, a lot of times agencies get stuck in waiting for people to come to them. But in this instance, we're going out and finding people that maybe have never gotten resources before.
Students at Springfield's Kickapoo High School walking out of class earlier today to show support for law-abiding immigrants in the community. Springfield Public Schools made it clear this was not a district-organized event. Officials there say any student who participated was required to follow established conduct policies. We spoke to one parent who said that they were proud to see their kids using their voice.
I've got 2 kids in elementary school, and we've told them that their voice is their most powerful tool right now, and I've raised them that way. So I want that to continue to be true.
The walkout follows similar demonstrations held last week at Central High School and other recent walkouts at Hillcrest and Parkview High Schools. Stick around for your 7-day forecast after the break. You're going to want to know just how low it's going to get over the weekend and what the other side of the weekend is looking like if there's a warm up in our future. And later, why this week's been a troublesome one for zookeepers down in Little Rock, thanks to that recent winter storm.
This is Ozarks First News at 6:30 with Bailey Stroll and Chief Meteorologist Jamie Warriner.
Well, I hope you enjoyed it. A couple of days above the freezing mark, because this is it, at least for a few more days, as temperatures, well, they've already slipped below freezing and they're going to stay there for the next couple of days. Right now, we are looking at mostly clear skies to the north, and we've got an area of cloudy skies here over northwest Arkansas. This area of low cloudiness actually extends down to the south through western Arkansas, and this is in relation to an area of low pressure, a clipper that's moving out of Oklahoma and into Arkansas right now. And it looks like we could see a little bit of mist breaking out in this area here shortly, maybe over the next few hours. And it might be just cold enough at the surface for some freezing mist or snow flurries as the atmosphere also turns colder and there's a little bit more support for snow maybe later tonight in those areas. But this would be a very, very light event for northern areas of Arkansas and central areas of Arkansas. But, you know, it doesn't take much. If we hadn't had the snowstorm of this past weekend, maybe it'd be a bigger deal, but there's already still plenty of snow and sleet on the ground in those areas. Looking at Friday, it looks like we are going to find cold air with this system passing by to our south getting drawn into the area. So it's going to be a cold day Friday. Temperatures below freezing in most areas for highs. The Arctic front, though, doesn't arrive until later in the afternoon. And when the Arctic front arrives, the winds are going to get a bit more gusty, the clouds will thicken up, and we could have some snow flurries late in the day into the evening hours as that Arctic air mass builds in. Our forecast for tonight, again, watching for some light precipitation to break out here in northwest Arkansas, spread across north central Arkansas, and then drop off to the southeast. For most of the night, though, we're just going to find intervals of clouds, and we're going to find intervals of clouds again on Friday. But like today, it will tend to be on the cloudy side for most of the day on Friday, and certainly by mid to late afternoon, skies will become cloudy, with those clouds lingering into Friday night before thinning out late in the night. We will start the day on Saturday with clear conditions and very cold temperatures, but at least we'll have sunny skies throughout the day on Saturday. Again, areas that could see some of that light wintry precipitation would generally be places like Jasper, maybe over towards Searcy, Arkansas. Further north, I'm expecting a dry night. About 13 for a morning low with a high of 25 tomorrow afternoon in Springfield. Tomorrow night, we dip down to 1, and I think with the snow cover, light winds, and clear skies, there could be a few spots out there, especially over southwest Missouri, that drop below 0 degrees. We're going to have wind chills below 0. In fact, wind chills of -10 to -15, very common across the area. In the afternoon, with the sunshine, temperatures will warm into the 20s, or at least maybe around 20, if not low 20s over areas north of the state line. Looks like mid-20s more common across northern Arkansas. The cold will still be there on Sunday when the next clipper drops southeast through the area. And there's been a lot of back and forth in the model guidance, but I think that this is a general scenario that does favor a possibility of a light stripe of snow developing from northwest to southeast. I think the area that has probably the better chances for that to occur would be north and east of Springfield, and there could be some light accumulations. It's just something to watch as we work through Saturday and into Sunday. Beyond Sunday, Groundhog Day looks warmer. I think that's going to be our first real day where we notice the snow cover beginning to go away. Light wintry mix or rain still possible on Tuesday, but notice temperatures looking a bit warmer through next week. Bailey?
All right, glad to see it. Thanks, Jamie. Icy conditions have created a slippery challenge for zookeepers at the Little Rock Zoo in Arkansas. Prior to last weekend's storm, maintenance staff set up generators all around the exhibits, ensuring animals would stay warm if the power went out. But since the storm, zookeepers are dealing with icy walking paths. Well, they normally don't walk, they actually use golf carts, but even that is making moving around impossible.
But animal care is essential always. These guys need care every single day. They need food. We got to check generators, make sure everything's working okay. So the animal staff has been amazing since this all began.
The Little Rock Zoo has been closed all week to visitors due to the hazardous conditions. They don't want any guests getting hurt. They hope to reopen sometime next week. Be sure to download our new streaming app. A reminder, it's called Ozarks First Plus, and you can get it on your smart TV. That's where you can catch our newscast live all in one place, plus 6 brand new and unique shows that we're putting out. One of those called Put Me In, Coach, a sports show hosted by Jesse Inman and Chris Penson. Here's a sneak peek of that episode today.
Seahawks versus Patriots, and that's where we are going to start here today, folks. I don't know anyone that's picking the Patriots. Everyone I've talked to says, "Oh yeah, Seahawks are going to wipe the floor with them."
I just don't. I don't see how though. I mean, again, I know the Patriots haven't played great against winning teams this season, but they do have a pretty darn good defense.
Bill Belichick snubbed for the Hall of Fame. This is not to say that Belichick is never going to go in the Hall of Fame.
Correct.
He will eventually. For this week's Put Me In, Coach punishment, let's show people what happened.
I have to catch 3 barehanded fly balls. All right, there's another one.
Uniform combo has been announced for Super Bowl 60. Dominant 63.8% victory if you're wearing white.
Wow.
This week's Put Me In, Coach challenge. Chris and I decided we're gonna stay indoors.
We are going bowling, Jesse.
Yeah, we are. We're gonna have some fun here. Rules are simple here. Play one game, see who the winner is, comes out on top.
Wow, are you kidding me? How does he get the
Put it up,
strike?
baby.
Look at this. Boy, he's big now.
Up next, we are serving the Ozarks. How one local group is using basketball to help domestic violence survivors get their lives back on track.
And now, serving the Ozarks. Sponsored by Patriot Heat and Air.
Welcome back. Combining a passion for basketball and helping survivors of domestic violence. The Rebound Foundation is helping survivors get their lives back on track. Tonight, Angela Luna brings us our Serving the Ozarks.
I really desperately want people to know how much they are loved and that love doesn't have to hurt.
The Rebound Foundation is a nonprofit dedicated to raising funds and increasing awareness to assist survivors in their journey of recovering from domestic abuse. They offer supportive housing while fostering healthy relationships and actively works to prevent youth from getting stuck in the cycle of abuse.
We have some individuals that come to us and they are 100% ready to take ownership of their life and breathe new life into their life. But then we also have some individuals that come to us and they just can't quite let go of the past and it has still a grip on them.
Founders Christina Ford and her husband Dana combine their love of helping others and basketball to raise funds to support survivors.
What better way than having basketball with a cause? And so with every rebound that happens at our Rebound Challenge games, we get to raise money to help fund and move this mission forward.
Besides housing, the Rebound Foundation also offers services like helping with finances and building new relationships to stay on the right path.
Because so many of them, unfortunately, finances are part of the abuse. So we help them with financial literacy. We also talk to them about nutrition, because that's another thing, that food is controlled in the situation. And then also helping them recognize that sometimes the people of their past, even though they are familiar, are not necessarily still their best choice. And so relearning how to make friends, which is a really interesting skill to learn as an adult.
The Rebound Foundation also gets the community involved with their Rebound Challenge game, raising thousands each year. Angela Luna, Ozarks First.
Serving the Ozarks. Sponsored by Patriot Heat and Air.
Another cold weekend to spend inside, but hey, no shoveling.
No, well,
maybe.
Just the leftovers of last
well, that's
weekend's
true. You're still going to be getting rid of those for a while.
You're absolutely spot on. It looks like it's going to be another weekend where we're stuck indoors, even with sunshine on Saturday.
Get your popcorn and your movies ready for now, but hey, 40s sometime next week. We'll see you tomorrow. Thanks for joining us.